number 7. I'm your reverend. Past co-host Bud.
And I'm original CP3.
And we back in the building. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go.
They loving it. They loving it. Yes, sir. We back. We still alive. We ain't got on our black today. Nah. You know, we done laid our birds to rest, and we on a new life.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know, because when one season dies, another one begins.
Tell it.
And right now we're in the middle of a very special season for our Philadelphia 76ers, who are on a 6-game winning streak. Yes, give it up for the Sixers, you man. Give it up for the Sixers. You know what I mean? They playing some good basketball right now, man. Embiid's playing at a historical pace. The last game was versus what they call them, the Greg Popoviches. The San Antonio Greg Popoviches. It was versus them, man, and we had a good game. I think it was a high scoring game, 120-something to 110. And it was Embiid, you know, versus Wemby. You know, the first matchup we got to see for them two giants. I think Wemby passed the test, man. I
mean, he passed the test, but he definitely got a lesson that night, man. And you know, Embiid definitely came in there, had the game circled. He said, all right, I'm not gonna let this young fella come into my building at all. I'm gonna have to show him how it's done. And you know, it's like he did more than that. Like hopefully Wemby took a lot of notes, because you know, Embiid gave him about like at least 70 points worth of notes to take.
70 points worth of notes. I wasn't even gonna say it. But the 70-point bomb was just dropped on his head. Oh my gosh, the bomb just was dropped on his head. Damn, Wemby. I mean, it happens like that sometimes but I take that as Embiid respect Wemby. You know, Embiid respect Wemby, because if he didn't, he wouldn't have came out there and tried to send such a strong message from the beginning. He must be on Embiid radar in a major way. But anybody's on Embiid radar right now, they're getting destroyed, man. Because Embiid is just, you know, he is not taking names. He is not taking no prisoners. He is right at situations right now, man. But even more than Embiid, the Sixers is playing real well right now. And sorry, y'all, I got it on the screen because I couldn't wait to tell y'all. Y'all know we rock with the Bird 7. You see, Eagles hire former defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. We gonna get into that a little later for y'all. We definitely gonna get into that. But yeah, man, the Sixers is playing some good basketball right now, man. 6-game winning streak.
Yo.
6 games, man. 6 games. And, you know, we don't really trip over any particular game in the NBA. You know, because they play so many games. Games. It's hard to really take one game super serious. But you know, we on a 6-game winning streak right now, so we could talk about this. This is a good stretch of basketball.
I mean, and the thing is, you know, with the 70 points, I mean, it was great against that team, the Spurs. But you know, it's like I enjoyed it when it first happened. You know, I enjoyed the day after and stuff like that. You know, now one of the things that's, you know, the great advantage is that by the time, you know, we do the podcast, it's like for a game like that, you get a time to kind of process everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One of the things I mean, it's definitely one of the all-time great games as a Sixers fan to have witnessed. You know what I'm saying?
To watch. Yeah.
It's definitely in the history. It's definitely in history books. One of the things that I'd say not a negative, just think about it. It was against the Spurs, though.
Yeah,
they're not great.
No,
like Wemby is good, but it's like as a team, they're not great. And you know, on the one hand, you know, as we was talking in the prep, it's like I definitely think that this bull is legit. Like this kid is you know, the sky's the limit for him, man. As long as he continues to work, the sky's because again, like you said, like he showed up. He had like 36 points.
Yeah,
you know, so he showed up. Like it wasn't
lay
like,
down.
Yeah, not at all. But I mean, just Embiid was just that much better. And the way
difference right now,
it was like
Embiid
it was too easy.
Big dog.
It was too easy. And honestly, he could do that almost every night. Like there's not many people that can really stop him. honestly, the only time he, really has those bad games or is because he's stopping himself. He's missing. You know what I mean? But they're not that great of a team.
So no, and we're not celebrating too much on a San Antonio Greg Popovich when we talk about the 6-game winning streak and how they looking, because they did just beat Denver, by the way, which was a very, very good win in my opinion. And beat those Jericho people who know these are the 2 best big men in the league, hands down. And people know that, and there was a big matchup. It was Sixers versus Denver. And we got the win, and I forget how much Embiid dropped that game. He dropped like
it had to be over 30 something.
40
that's
something.
That's what he does.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
he averaged 36.
How much more than 30? I mean, so it's like it had to be 30. It's like 30 what? You know what I mean? Or like you said, it was but it's like that was a great showing. And,
41 it was. 41.
It's like Embiid going against Jokic. It's like that was a great matchup, and he definitely showed up again. Like he doesn't fall away. One thing we have to say about our star is that he performs against the great players. He does.
Yeah,
he didn't score 70, but he didn't score just 18 points.
41.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he steps up. It's just the other question I ask you is, will it translate?
Will it translate to the playoffs?
That's the question, man.
Big thing. That's the big thing when we talk about the Sixers. And as Eagles fans, as Philly fans, as realists, I think we all kind of like looking at this Sixers team pleasantly surprised. But now that our expectations are being raised, it's like now we thinking about what can y'all do in the end, and ultimately where it's going to end at, because and I don't want us to do that as fans all the time. I want us to kind of enjoy the ride game by game, seeing this team grow. And we've been under Nick Nurse's system for what? This is just the first year under Nick Nurse's system.
Right.
This is the first one. We have no third all-star. We got 2 solid play. We got a great player, and we got a good player, and we got a bunch of solid players around them. So we don't have a loaded team. So for this team to be 29-13 right now, third in the East after we got rid of the Sega Genesis, and we might be able to upgrade the system a little bit because they don't look like a Sega, but maybe a Nintendo 64 we could say. But when we traded the Nintendo 64 to the Clippers, we didn't necessarily replace that production. Us to look like this now without having made any major moves at this point in the season, I think I want us all to be present with the Sixers and enjoy it a little bit. But with that being,
you're right. You're right to an extent. It's Nick Nurse's first year, but we done dealt with a lot of stuff, man. We dealt with a lot of second round exits in the Embiid era, man. And it's unfair. It's unfair. You can say it's unfair that Nick Nurse, in his first year, we expect him a lot.
We've been dealing with in the Embiid era, because people might not know. People might not know. If you're in Philly and you're watching this, but if
we have Brett Brown.
Started
with Brett Brown, and then I believe after that we had Doc, right? I believe after that we had Doc Rivers,
right?
And after Doc Rivers, Doc that was.
In the history of Brett Brown, the furthest we got was what?
The problem was Brett Brown, we got to the second round, right? And I think the last time with Brett Brown might have been the year Toronto won the championship. Yeah. I believe that's what happened, right? We didn't get past
the second round, yeah.
Maybe it might have been one more year after with Brett Brown,
Atlanta.
right?
It was Atlanta.
And then after that, it's like, right. And so then we went to Doc.
Second round exits.
Then we went to Doc.
Then Doc come to town.
And Doc still second round exits. So it's like
we lost to the Heat under Doc in the second round. And B got hurt that series, missed the first, I think, 2 games. And then we lost to the Celtics. Did we lose to the Celtics twice? I think we might have lost to the Celtics twice since he's been here in the But second round exits, as you were saying.
Yeah.
That's the history.
Yeah. And so then we didn't get better with Doc. We still had second round. So at this point, for Nick Nurse, man, fair or unfair, they're expecting more, man. Like second round is not like it's just unfortunate, but we're expecting more than just a second round exit. If Nick Nurse needs to be coming in here, and at the very least, we need the conference championship. Especially that's the part. Like, Embiid's playing great. He's playing great, right?
Playing amazing. MVP.
The thing is that he's raising the expectation.
Yeah.
Because this is like, okay, well, now Embiid, like, he's playing for back-to-back MVP. And it's like, not only that, but this time looks like, okay, you're going to actually raise your game up in the playoffs and, do what you got to do. But
so go ahead and say it, man. And we gotta do what for this season not to be a failure?
It's got to be third. It's got to be a conference championship.
At least the conference championship.
At the minimum. So first year coach or not, at the minimum, conference championship.
So Nick Nurse, you have no room to make a mistake or a hiccup.
And you have the potential MVP. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
so what's your expectations for Embiid? What does Embiid need to average in the playoffs? I mean, he averaging 36 right now, but what does he need to average in the playoffs?
He's going to have to do 30.
30.
He's going to have to do 30.
Embiid last year in the playoffs, I don't even think you averaged 25, but we ain't going to talk about last year. Last year was last year. There's a lot of factors. But this year, you on a historic pace. You broke a Wilt record for most 30 in 10 games and consecutive games. I don't even know how many games you at now because you're still on the streak. But you just did 70, 18, and 5. That was major, man. You making a case for you being one of the greatest Sixers ever. For real, because you passing a lot of Wilt records, and that's different. But with that being said, the way you affect the game defensively, offensively now, scoring at will, and now you're showing you could play make and really open up an offense. There's nobody in your way no more, bro. And I'm talking to Embiid right now. Ain't nobody in your way no more. You ain't got Ben. You ain't got Ben not shooting. He gone. He gone. You ain't got Jimmy Butler being the alpha, so you can hide in the back. He gone.
Right.
You ain't got Harden fake supporting you no more. You can't look to your left and your right. You got to get it done.
Right.
But the great thing about this team is once you decide you want to get it done, you will have people riding with you. It ain't going to be like before. You got a young killer right next to you in Maxey. I feel like he going shoot or die trying. You know what I'm saying? So even if he don't play well, it ain't going to be from him not trying. And we got a bunch of people that we got a couple different DNA type of players on this team. We got some athleticism. So you go do what you do and let the rest fall where it may. Because one thing the city can really do, like we did with AI, because we knew going into battle with AI plenty of times we was undermanned. The other team was probably better. That whole finals run, we could have lost any round we was in for real. That's why the city will live and die behind AI, because we seen AI go put it all on the line, no matter what the outcome was. We could have lost any one of them series. Nobody would have been mad at AI. So we need that type of performance from Embiid, and I think
let me ask you a question. Go ahead. Finish. When you're done, let me ask you a question. Go ahead.
No, I said that if he's playing like that, if Embiid's playing like that, I think if playing with the AI type of heart, desire, and you're not going to stop me mindset, I think his level is higher than AI's. Like as far as effect on the game, just at what position you in and how you do it on both sides. So get it done. What's your question though?
Let me ask you this. If Embiid gets to the finals, win or loss, right? I mean, especially a win but if he gets to the finals and lose, right? One time.
Yeah.
Is he the greatest Sixer ever?
If we get to the finals and lose,
at least is he above? Is he better than AI at least at that point? Does he take over the AI level?
No, he got to do it for a few more years and then he could pass AI. Not off of one finals appearance. AI was getting buckets crazy, and AI had literally.
So is Embiid.
Yes, but AI had no talent around him like Embiid had. Dog, AI had a bunch of workmen that could have been construction workers or been on the back of a trash truck when he was playing. George Lynch, Tyrone Hill, Eric Snow, Raja Bell, Jermaine Jones, Aaron McKee, Dikembe Mutombo, who was barely being held together by sticks. You know what I mean? Matt Geiger, who just was just a regular, looked like John Fetterman out there.
Right. We can go down.
Like, It wasn't no Benz. It wasn't no Maxis. It wasn't no Hardens. It wasn't no Jimmys. It was never nobody next to AI like Embiid had next to him. So I can't say just because he's doing the same type AI stuff, even though AI never scored 70, AI was a major bucket getter. And he was a major bucket getter when you ain't shoot 1,000 3-pointers. I guarantee Embiid is shooting more threes than AI shot during his prime run. Embiid probably taking 5-6 threes a game. AI probably took 3-4. Some games probably
I feel
2.
like the second round exits, while we frustrated with it right now, I feel like he's at least been doing that a little more consistent than AI was, right?
No, we was going to the playoffs. We was going to the
went
playoffs.
To the playoffs when we, like after 2001 when we lost. Like I don't think we ever actually did that.
No, we did. We lost to the Hornets in the second round before.
Was that the second round? Okay.
We who else we
I know
lost?
we lost to the Pacers.
I think we lost to the. I think we lost to the Pacers early as we was climbing, but you gotta remember the Pacers was one of the top 2 teams in the East.
Right.
When we was losing, like when we finally broke through and went to the finals, that was our first year beating the Pacers. We had lost to the Pacers 2 years in a row before that. But if you remember, the Pacers went to the finals the years before us.
Yeah, totally. You know, but they also went after us too. They went 2002 after. So my question, and I think they might have beat us to get there, but it's like after that finals run, I don't feel like we were necessarily the same. I feel like Embiid, I mean, you know, I gotta look at the stats to back it up, obviously, but it's like I just feel like
Embiid, if we went to the second round, so we lost to the Celtics literally 3 times in the playoffs. Since Embiid been there. That was 1, 2 was with Ben. I think 1 was just with Embiid.
Yeah.
We lost to the Hawks once. We lost to the Raptors that heartbreak year. We lost to the Heat that year. So that's 6. Yeah, we and we lost to the Pacers in the bubble too. I remember that series.
Yeah,
that was the first round. So I don't want to say he's been better at AI at anything for real, considering that the pieces he had around him.
Because actually, I guess to your point, AI did a lot more overachieving.
And look how tall AI was.
I know, but I got it, but I'm just like,
no, but AI was that big.
Embiid did more underachieving, as AI did more overachieving, I guess, right?
Overachieving and just unlikely all around. I mean, Embiid 7'2", 7'3", 7 foot.
Right.
AI's, you know, somebody say he's not even 6 feet, and he felt like Embiid out there on the court as far as his presence. So greatest Sixer, he can't pass AI unless he goes to a final. Now he ain't go to a final yet. We playing hypothetical.
No, I'm saying if he go, that's what I say. If he goes to the final, he don't have to win, or does he have to win?
He has to win. He just if he goes to the finals and
that's what I'm saying.
Keep this level up for at least 2 years after that. Then yeah, he can.
So he got to keep up 36. We got to keep up 36 points.
Not 30s, not 36, but 30s. Right. 30s, around the 30s.
That's fair.
Yeah, man.
Even though honestly, AI did some of that. Real talk. Back to your point.
AI averaged 30
AI
twice.
Had a bum. No, but I'm saying he had a bum team though. So it's like it was easy for him to do because it's like they said give him the ball. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like for Embiid to do that, you're probably sacrificing the quality of your team, right? Because technically speaking, you know, the 30 points is great a game, but it's like if you got a better team, he shouldn't have to do all that. He shouldn't have to do what AI did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because
you're right. So you say, but I don't believe it. So well, this is the year we can see this can be his like AI year, and it really won't be because his team's still better than whatever AI had.
That's the thing. It's like
this could be
your.
I'm the best player, unquestionably. I'm taking because when I look at Embiid play, forget what the team did. When I look at your playoff history. You've never played in a series besides that Toronto series that we won and you hit the game winner. That series you played like a superstar.
Right.
And you came through in some big moments, but outside of that, you haven't had any real memorable playoff moments. You've really been coming up small in the playoffs, and some playoffs not even showing up as far as effort and just heart. We can never say that about AI. That's not something anybody in the city can ever mumble about AI. That's why I'm like, you can't go over AI right now just because how scoring works in today's game. You have some advantages, but you're dominant. And you listen, and you go to the finals, or you just have a moment like AI did that one playoff run. Get in the playoffs and say, I'm not going to be stopped like you do on any given night.
Right.
No matter what defense you play. And I don't mean you got to score 70 because that's what you might think in your head. I mean, if you got to score 27 and have 12 assists and 15 rebounds, then do that. Read the game and make sure we win. That's all we asking you to do. So if he can do that, then we'll talk about it. But until then, if he goes to the finals, I feel like that will probably have to be one of them type performances, and we can revisit it. We can revisit it, and I hope we can revisit it.
Yeah,
I hope we can revisit it. Be like, this is the year for you to do something like that.
We thought last year. We thought last year, and then what happened. But it's like, so this year it's like, come on, because the other thing is that, I mean, I know you said this when he got drafted, man. It's like, as a big man, you've been very fortunate. I don't want to, speak anything there, but we've been very fortunate in regards to how they say about big men and stuff like that, injuries and all that. We've been very fortunate, and so it's like, it's like, how many more years does he have after this?
That's why I said, like, if he go this year, I only expect like 2 more dominant years, dominant. Because we getting a good run out of you right now, Embiid. I salute you, cuz, and I ain't even call you an underachiever because a lot of people didn't think you was going to survive health wise. A lot of people never thought you was going to be in the position to do this. Even our expectations of you wasn't this. So you are overachieving, with the cards you actually had in front of you at any given time. But we talking about in game situations.
And part of the other problem, last thing is that the guy we talked about earlier, that guy's coming.
Who's coming?
He's coming. Wemby,
yeah.
Wemby is coming, man. Pause. It's like, he
ain't in our conference, but you're right.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in regards to, we're talking about like, we want Embiid to not only do good, but we also want him to win. Like, we do want him to. Like, my thing is, like,
before he figure it out and take San Antonio,
that guy might figure it out in 2 years. Like, it's like that door.
And they about to get another top draft pick. They setting it up now. And if you pay attention, they about to get another top 5 pick, and then they just next year they're gonna come out running.
Because he made it. He even in that game we're in BS 70, man. Some of his plays, some of Wemby's plays, man, he just makes it look easy. It's just it looks unfair, and he hasn't even, like you said, he's still learning. So
right. Yeah, it's getting realer. It's getting realer and realer when it comes to Wemby. I'm giving him the stamp. I was giving him the stamp early because I just seen it. I seen like, dog, when he figure it out, like where he want to be on the floor, he can get off any shot. You can't block a shot.
Right.
And he's kind of athletic, quick jumper. Quick
dude makes alley-oops by accident. Bro.
Dunking from the free throw line, how people think that's a hard thing.
Right.
Not for him.
Right, man.
Not for him. He's been doing that since he was 12, probably, with them long ass arms.
Right. So
boom. So I'm stamping him. I know, some people don't want to stamp him this early, and we're gonna bring some of them different perspectives on the show. We got some real good things coming for y'all too, man. We got people that's gonna start popping in and mix up the dynamics a little bit, and we're gonna get into it. You know what I mean? Because y'all watching us, not TV. But Wemby is coming, man. Wemby is coming, and that's listen, he gonna be, I can tell now he's gonna be my favorite big man when he really put it together.
Dude, you already know Steph Curry's my favorite player right now, but Steph Curry's about to get his retirement on probably, like, let's say 5 years maybe.
Yeah, he on his way out.
And Wemby's could probably be my next guy that I like want to watch his games, because he like you said,
it's getting crazy. Man. It's getting crazy. And just for the record, Dame Dollar, that's my favorite player. Since he told his, we're gonna let y'all in a little history. If y'all don't see this episode, y'all never gonna know. But it's Dame Dollar, and he played for the rival Bucks. And we about to get into the Bucks because goddamn, they just made a move, didn't they? They just got a new coach.
Man, yo.
They just got a new coach, dog. They just made a move for real. And it surprised me, man.
Old coach.
It surprised me. And right now, just in case you don't know, the Bucks are 31-13. 31-13. They are second place in the East.
And they said, nah, this coach ain't. The coach they had ain't working. Adrian Griffin ain't working for us. We got to get somebody
else. Griffin was fired. He was fired with the second best record in the East. Now, mind you, they don't look how we thought they was going to look. They is trying to put it together, but even in them trying to figure it out, they 30-13. Yeah. Second in the East. I mean, new system, new coach, new player, new everything. So it honestly, man, that was some dirty stuff that went on because the person that he got replaced with, and I would go to say, this deal was in place prior before he was fired. Mm-hmm. This was a under the table handshake for real. The person that was hired was none other than our guy, Doc Rivers, Glenn Rivers, the person who literally just got fired from being a 76ers coach because he couldn't get it done. Gave up the lead, second round exits, and we had to part ways with him.
We were number one in the conference last year, I believe, right? Number one? No. Year before when we lost. Yeah, we lost to the Hawks.
Yeah,
Doc Rivers
was number one seed that year.
Doc Rivers, our coach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because that's how the whole Ben Simmons. Yeah.
Now, mind you, under this guy, we got first of all, Adrian Griffin. They did you dirty, bro. They did you dirty. It wasn't even you. Somebody need to pick you up as a consultant, maybe go coach one of these young teams. But Adrian Griffin, they did you dirty. I don't know what.
Hold on, man. Doc Rivers, Doc Rivers. How are you a consultant? Like you said, and you like what? It's like it looks questionable now. Like, what information were you giving him? Because you obviously weren't helping him. You know what I'm saying? And so now one of two things. Either you were setting him up, right? You're setting him up, or if you're the one consulting him and he lost his job, how are you going to be better? If you want to give him advice, like how are you going to be better?
That don't make much. It don't make sense to me, and it kind of remind me of when the Eagles replaced Matt Desai for Matt Desai in the middle of the season. That move made no sense. Eagles fans, if you know, right. That move made no sense, and this move really make no sense because it makes even less sense than our move because they're second in the East, and number two, they hired the guy who he was getting advisement from. So if it was a problem with the game plan, but I'm thinking about it like this, and I literally just thought about this angle. It could have been a thing to where just Dame ain't like him. Dame ain't want him to be the coach. And they knew that, Glenn Doc was familiar with the system because he damn near training the person on the system. And it could have just been just a swap-a-roo, without really making much of a fuss. You ain't getting a whole new coach, but you also getting a whole new coach. It could have been that.
There have been reports about that Giannis wasn't necessarily happy with the coach.
Somebody couldn't.
And Dame wasn't either. Right, Dame wasn't either.
Them to do that. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. And I know everybody is getting on him like, why would you think he's gonna be better? It may not necessarily be about getting better. It may be a chemistry thing for the vibes long term. They might be okay with the system. They might be like, we feel like y'all, we figuring it out. We second in the East, but we need a different person in that chair.
There's rumors out there that the Bucks players was up there like ignoring the coach and calling their own plays. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't enough of a presence to really.
So
it could be that too. Yeah, it could be they like the system work, but he ain't gonna be able to command it when it get real.
Right.
And you hired the guy Doc Rivers because I guess you figure he could come in and doctor the thing. But why you think we went from a doctor to a nurse? You would think that's a downgrade, right? I don't believe so.
Not at all.
I don't believe so.
It's still early in the season. It's still early.
But Doc Rivers' history, in case you don't know, he was a coach for I think he was a coach for the Magic early on. Mm-hmm. It was a non-factor. 500 and below, damn near 8th, 7th seed, good season, 6th seed.
But he didn't have Grant Hill, man. That's why he didn't have Grant Hill. He didn't have all his pieces.
Yeah, he had all his pieces. Yeah, but then he went to the Clippers. He went to the Clippers and No, actually, he went to the Celtics.
Hold on,
he went to the Celtics. He about to skip a whole era.
It's like that part was important and good.
Yeah,
he did win the championship in 2008. Yep.
So no, he had Paul Pierce, but the young Paul Pierce in Boston before the trades. It wasn't no KG, it wasn't no Ray Allen. It was just Paul Pierce for a minute, and it was very average, 8th seed, 7th seed type of average, no real success.
Yeah, prime Paul Pierce and them. Yeah, they
prime Paul Pierce. Right. Antoine Walker too, which is one of my favorite power forwards of all time. And I used to get buckets just like Antoine, young Antoine on the court. I used to hashtag that all the time.
Yeah, so let's get back to the truth of the matter versus fiction that you were just talking about.
But listen, with young Antoine, who was like myself and Paul Pierce, he didn't win anything. Then they made a trade for possibly one of the top 3 to 5 players in the league in KG at that time. Yeah. And then they added another top 15 player in Ray Allen. And, they drafted Rondo, drafted some pieces around him, and he won with their roster. 3 Hall of Famers the first year they got. I think that was like 07 they made that trade. And they had a 4-year run together, that squad. And they got to the finals twice.
Yeah.
Got to the finals twice, won one ring. And then, disappointment the rest of the season. So he produced, you know what I mean? So that's his second stop. People thought he had potential. He had his second stop, win the championship when he got the pieces, but the pieces kind of, could have did more. But Kobe said no, Kobe wasn't losing to them twice. Kobe lost the first championship and that's the second. So, that's a whole different animal over there. If it was somebody else, they probably would have won, but they didn't. No. And then that flamed out, got fired. Then he went over to the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
And with the LA Clippers, this was Chris Paul. This was Blake Griffin. This was
DeAndre
Jordan. This was JJ Redick. This
Jamal
Crawford. They had some pieces over there now.
Yeah, they did.
And they was one of the most exciting teams in the league. And they was top 3 seed damn near every season. And I don't think they ever got to a conference final over there. Did they? I don't believe they did. I think second round.
I think that was the whole issue. Right.
Memphis took them out a few times. Golden State smacked them early and late a couple times. OKC got them a couple times. And
he could never get past
San Antonio got them. And, a lot of people got them. And it flamed out. Disgruntled with his stars. Part ways. Throughout this, at the post-Celtics era, you have seen him literally give up leads in series. 3-2.
Right.
3-2. 3-2. Right. Even going back to the Boston year. The Boston year, I got this from Gilbert Arenas. That year, they went and actually won a championship. They went to 3 Game 7s on their way there versus lesser teams,
Right.
Atlanta Hawks first round, you going to Game 7. Like, you fighting the hardest. And some would say, coaching wasn't on point, but I'm not saying that. It is what it is. I'm just giving you the story. So after that Chris Paul era came Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. You had 2 more superstars at your disposal. You had a second phase of your Los Angeles Clipper run. They never got past the second round.
Right.
Farthest they got was when they lost to Denver in the bubble. That was in the second round.
Right.
And then that flamed out, and then you became our coach. And we know what you did once you came here because it's a no sports podcast based out of Philly. A bunch of second round exits. And
so you say all that to say that you're just not feeling this, huh?
I'm not gonna say I don't. Now, personally,
like
I feel more confident now that he's the coach of the Bucks than I did before.
Because he's a name?
No, because I know when it get real, when we get them down and they gotta adjust, it's over for them.
Oh, you feel more confident about us? Okay, I got you. You feel more confident about the Sixers?
I feel more confidence about the 76ers versus the Bucks.
Totally, I'm with you.
But he does have 2 players under his umbrella now that can overcome his shortcomings now. They're not just regular players that's going to look at the game unravel if they could do something about it. He has literally 2 players like that. So, it might be a good recipe for him with them 2, Dame and Giannis. It ain't a Paul George who might shrink. It ain't a Kawhi who might, Kawhi ain't going to shrink, but he might not just be on the floor at the end of the day. It's Dame who's shown many times over there being the AI in Portland that when it's on the line, I'm coming to get it. If I can get it, I'm coming to get it. If it's there, I'm coming to get it.
Right.
Because I feel like I deserve it just as much as any other player on the floor. And we know what Giannis do. Like, Giannis going to make a way. So they got 2 players like that. So it's different over there. I don't want to make it seem like they're going to fold. But I got more confidence going against them with Doc Rivers being the coach because I believe Doc will mess it up somehow.
And I don't want to say he a bad coach,
right?
But like just seeing what he's done lately, I feel like if Nick Nurse can outcoach him, then we can get him. We can get him.
That begs the question of how did he get? If that's how you feel about him going to the Bucks, how do these supposed experts and owners and stuff like that? How do they don't see it? The fans see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the players the players around the league probably thinking the same thing right now. How do you give of all the people you could pick? How do you give him this job?
It only makes sense if they wanted to keep. It made sense because it was the easy move. I feel like that's the only acceptable philosophy for the move, bro. Mm-hmm. It was an easy transition. We put him right into place. He's already kind of in the vibe. He's respected. Giannis said he don't mind. Dame might have signed off on it.
Right.
But they said that mother ain't coaching us no more.
Right,
so he had to go. And when you got the money and the stars talking like that, you're gonna have to go, bro.
Right. And it's crazy how it's almost like
Giannis.
It's like the bull.
He already got
the board that tries to help you get the girl. And he's like, hey man, all right. He tried to help you keep the girl. All right, he gives you all the advice, trying to help you keep the girl. And then it's
no. But I don't think.
But it's bad advice, and you end up breaking up. The girl ends up dumping you. You know, the girl ends up dumping you because of the bad advice. And he like, hey girl, that bull crazy.
What should I say? What should I say to Amy?
Why you?
Like, tell her she ugly.
You're right. Being around. And then after she break up with you. Then he comes swoop in and like sweet and ends up getting with her and stuff like. It's like never appreciated. Like I didn't even know that happened like that, man.
He called you ugly.
Stuff. Yeah,
imagine a man calling you ugly. But that do seem like a snake type of story, and I feel like that could be the narrative, but it could have been more peaceful for everybody involved, but Griffin. But Griffin might have blessed his old head getting it. Like, all right, they don't want me here. We all know we don't like each other. I probably had words with Dame. I probably had words with people, so probably like, are they firing me regardless? You give it to the OG. It could have been that.
Okay. I hope that's what it is.
Or it could have. But the reason I don't go with the sabotage is because they 30-13. It wasn't like they was really, really struggling. Like the sabotage wasn't that hard. You know what I mean? They second in the East.
Okay, but
if they was like 4th, 5th, then it'll be like, all right, he's sabotaging. But it's like y'all figuring it out.
The sabotage ain't about the record, though. It's what you saying before. About? It's about the behind. It's about the locker room.
He's telling them how to coach
the locker room politics and stuff like that. And it's like whatever he was saying, it wasn't working. So it wasn't working.
It wasn't working because you hire as a consultant to get the situation better, and it didn't get better because he got fired.
And it's got to be some drama that was in that locker room for that to have happened. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know if
we not in that locker room, and I'm glad.
But you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like it had to be something because it doesn't make to your point, it's like for you to have that good a record, it don't make sense unless the players wasn't vibing with the coach.
And you know who else it ain't make sense to? You know who else it ain't make sense to?
Man, yeah, it didn't. It
ain't make sense to this guy either. Let's hear what he said.
He was gonna win Coach of the Year with that record. I mean, for God's sake. The guy who replaced him has the worst percentage of Coach of the Year. Right now, he's the worst coach in Game 7s. Yes. There's nothing in his resume that says, "Ooh, we need this coach." Right. Exactly. So how does he keep getting these coaches jobs? This man getting fired, and then while he's fired, he's auditioning for another job. Who's he sleeping with? Well, let me know this person. I want a job.
He said who he's sleeping with.
Yo, I mean, because it doesn't make sense, man. It really doesn't. All the people that they could have, like, it just doesn't.
We ain't got to figure it out, and I'm glad we ain't got to figure that out. We got enough things to figure out over here. And one of those things we had to figure out over this time, man. One of those things we had to figure out is this one question: was Sirianni going to be the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles? Yeah. And it looks like Sirianni is safe. No hot seat. It's a little warm. Get a chance to cool off for a few months, but they ain't take the heater from underneath it.
He really put the Matt Desai on it.
Matt Desai, that's his name. That's what I think his name is. What was the difference?
You're right. You're right, man. Because you replaced him with Matt Patricia, and we still stunk. Right. So that didn't work. Bryan Johnson is like, yeah, it's that made sense. Like apparently there was reports that reports that Jalen wasn't feeling him anymore. They was sort of beefing, so he had to go. And Sirianni probably kept his job because of it was like, all right, look, you want to keep your job, you got to get rid of all your coordinators and start afresh.
Yeah,
Nick was like,
and then listen, I know his name is Bryan Johnson, just to let y'all know, but he fired, so we just call him Byron Johnson.
I mean,
for now.
So it's like, yeah, I that's the only way he had to keep he could have kept his job, because if he had tried to fight for any of them, I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Lurie. Well, okay, that too. Jeffrey Lurie would not have hired him back. He'd have been like, okay, we'll find somebody else because this ain't working. You're not keeping. There's nobody on that staff that helped us reach our goal.
Yeah,
like their goal was not just to make the playoffs. Their goal was not to regress from Super Bowl to first round exit. Changes had to happen, especially when you're hearing too many different reports about some locker room stuff, leadership issues, and stuff like that. It's like, and not to mention, we may be losing some of our really core leaders.
Key pieces, yeah.
And so you got to have a strong coaching staff in there to kind of like help the ship stay maintained.
Leader of men, strong leader of men in place and presence.
So
play calling, even if the play calling lack a little bit, you got to be able to read the room, read the personnel. Right. And Byron Johnson, he didn't show the ability to do that. And I do believe that was him calling that offense. I do believe Sirianni was looking at him call that offense and had no advice for him because he don't know his damn self. That's what I believe it was. It was Byron, because the only reason Byron got fired, he had to be calling the offense because they saying it's your fault.
I mean, Byron Johnson coached as bad as Byron Maxwell played when he used to play for the Eagles. Like they both, it just was, so that makes sense.
Byron!
So yeah, he had to go. He had to go.
So I mean, salute to you. They talk about interviewing you for other positions already, so you must have did what you were supposed to do in the eyes of the league. So best of luck moving forward. But when it come to Philly, we always gonna have a little beef for you, Byron. Oh, they also fired Matt Desai, man. Matt Desai, they fired them together. Y'all didn't know they was twins, conjoined twins. They both was our defensive coordinators. Sirianni fired one, and they just turned around, and the other one went right into place. So Matt Desai, they fired them. Best of luck. I think they came out of New England and Seattle. I don't know, they from two different places, but they twins. It worked somehow, but them guys had to go. Our defense had absolutely no heart down the stretch. We looked terrible. We looked terrible the way we finished out the season. We couldn't tackle. Bad angles, penalties, no turnovers, no sacks, no third down stops. Nothing was redeemable about this defense, man. And I can't point to one thing that was redeemable. Only thing we could say is our legends ain't look bad. Our legends played good, and of course they did because they're legends. They play football under any circumstances, but that can't be the highlight of your team when you got so many other factors, man. It was terrible, man. And honestly, a move had to be made, and Matt Desai was fired. But not long after that, we had other news breaking in Philadelphia, man. We had other news breaking in Philadelphia, and I feel like
we at least got the defensive coordinator situation taken care of. I like the Vic Fangio signing, man. He did good. Yeah,
Fangio.
I do. Man. I like that hire, man. The Dolphins had a good defense. Like, they were ranked top 10, top 15 in pretty much every category. So, that's not bad. Except for scoring. I think scoring defense might have been the lowest. I think that was like 22. But it's like, other than that, man, they're the top 7 defense. Top 7 in total defense.
Yeah.
You can't fight that.
I haven't really digested it like that. I've been thinking about it, and I'm still making my decision. So this is fluid, as somebody might say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm feeling real good about this hire, man. When I think about the Miami Dolphins defense this past year, they definitely played better. I like the fact that they attacked. But when they played us, think about it. Ran down their throat. They couldn't really do nothing against a team that had a scheme and was kind of physical. And what I think this team needs, man, is just a physical type of nature. But they could be trying to build this defense into like a play fast, swarm the ball, take chances. Like when we get the lead, we the type of team that this might be the type of coordinator he is. When we get up on the team, he the coordinator that's not going to give the lead up. But when I look back at his history, I don't really see super success anywhere as far as defense goes, unless you want to talk about that San Francisco year. What year was that you said? Because you did look that up.
2013.
2013. That defense with Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, and them guys they had, Justin Smith. That was his defense. So but you see he's long going now, and they're still playing kind of that type of defense. So that's like a San Francisco thing. He has a long history. So
and you gotta have players. You gotta have players. I mean, at the end of the day, you still gotta have players. So the guys you named were like, they weren't bums. Those guys were like legit players. So it's like, you still gotta have them. Yeah, and that's still a question in regards to who's going to be on the roster and stuff like that.
Can he draft? Who has he drafted? Under Nick.
I don't know about that.
Under Vic Fangio.
I don't know. It's a good question, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's not always about who he drafts. Sometimes it's just who can he lead, and that's the bottom line. Is I feel like if our other option was Ron Rivera, which I looked up his stats, he was pretty much his team was pretty bad. Again, he hasn't as a head coach, so we don't want him.
We're not doing no Ron Rivera at all.
Right.
I would have been totally against that.
So let's see, man. We gotta give him some time, but I like it. We'll see.
I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna give anybody a chance at the side, but I'm not the most encouraged, man. And I gave you one of the reasons why I think this defense need like a physical, just come downhill and hit you, put a hat on you. If you beat us, get some great safeties and play physical in front of them, man. I want to see that type of team, that type of. Do we blitz a lot? I don't know much about his scheme. I'm just looking at the results. So that's
you can only do what you have. You can only utilize the talent that you have.
Right.
So,
and another thing, he was an advisor to us on our Super Bowl year.
Right. Exactly.
He was an under the table advisor. They say. Which CP3 definitely threw out there early, and I looked it up. So he was an advisor. They saying pretty much the whole
probably had
season.
A relationship with the players, like what I mean, like that helps. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know if he had a relationship with the players. I ain't gonna go that far. But he was around, and after and on our Super Bowl run, like after, let's say we won a championship game, they hired him that week in preparation for the Super Bowl. Now I think that was because they knew Gannon was kind of distracted. And they wanted an extra mind in the room. And then look at the defense that we played in the Super Bowl under him. Right. So I'm not going to put that all on him because he wasn't the coordinator, but I'm not super hyper encouraged. I'm like, we'll see. Anything better than Matt Desai. That's how I feel right now. And he's going to get a clean slate from me. I'm going to judge it from preseason on. I ain't going to make no assumptions, Right. I hope he does well. He does well, but we will see. But you're encouraged about it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I'm definitely waiting to see, but yeah, I'm encouraged. I think like I said, I feel like there's a former connection there, and that's probably how he got the job, and so we'll see if that actually pays off. They still got work to do, man. They still got work to do. So
we will for sure. Some quick other notes around the NFL before we move on, man. Just know we anytime something happen with the Eagles, we bringing it to y'all. We bringing it to y'all. It's the off season for them, but it's not the off season for us. You know what I mean? It's the No Box Sports Podcast, meaning there ain't no box. We might report on anything. You just never know. But we definitely gonna talk about them Philadelphia Eagles every time we get up here. So stay tuned. We're gonna have the draft coverage. We're gonna have when they hire the offensive coordinator. We're gonna have reactions to that. We're gonna see who they sign and let go. So take this ride with us, man. We going until game 1 of next season, and we really going up then. So Eagles fans,
three coaches. Sorry, 3 coaches that got hired, I believe today. You got John Harbaugh going to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Justin Herbert,
Raheem Morris. Going to the Falcons. He's new Falcons, which I guess when you think about it, Atlanta. Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
You got Canales, the Buccaneers OC. He's going to be the head coach of the Panthers. So, and the question that's still out there is, where's Bill Belichick going?
Ooh, Bill B still ain't got a job. The great Bill B. Oh my gosh, hoodie. The hoodie ain't got it.
Yeah.
Put our hoods on for you, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't care about that. Nah, man.
You thought Atlanta was going to be the job, didn't you?
I'm still glad we beat him. I ain't getting
no, Bill B. You might be on the couch this year, but somebody can hire you. I mean, you're not the worst coach in the NFL.
Well, he could do like Doc Rivers and just be a consultant.
Yeah, that can work. Consult a really, really young coach. Not Sirianni, but they say Jeffrey Lurie and Bill Belichick don't got the same.
Yeah,
they say him and Lurie don't bang with each other, so we ain't got to worry about that.
Okay,
at all. But that is some news from around the NFL. When we get a head coaching change or something like that, we'll definitely tap in John Harbaugh. That's a good move right there. Raheem Morris, you got to get yourself a quarterback down there. And who you say was just hired? The Panthers. The Panthers hired the Bucks.
The Bucks OC Canales, Dave Canales, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, so I ain't really worried about that. But Bryce Young, help Bryce Young, please, because y'all got him looking crazy out here. But yeah, man, that's our NFL segment of the show. Now, what we're gonna do real quick is review these picks, because y'all know we like to do that. We coming at y'all live and direct. We picking these games and we ain't playing, man. But first, we got a review went down last week. Okay, so we had let me pull the games back up. We had I do remember off the top of my head, we had the NFL, what was this, divisional weekend? We had San Fran versus Green Bay, and in that game, I picked, San Fran, and I think
we both picked the Niners.
Picked San Fran. Even though he's really high on Green Bay next year.
I am. I tell you what,
he's been saying this a lot, so I'm putting it on the record. Coming. He's high on Green Bay.
The Packers are not. They're not fluke.
Y'all heard it here. Get your fan dudes ready. We had Ravens and the Texans. I think we both picked Baltimore there.
Yeah.
Shout out to CJ. Great season.
Yeah, man.
We had the Lions and the Buccaneers. I think we both had the Lions there. And,
definitely.
So we 3 for 3 up to that game. And then lastly, we had the Chiefs and the Bills, in which I said the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen was going to take it. And this guy right here,
Patrick Mahomes, man. Patrick Mahomes. That guy. I mean, State Farm. Just trust him.
Josh, it's your kicker fault. It's the kicker fault, man. The kicker messed it up.
Man, nah, it's not just him, but he definitely.
You get paid to kick, bro. Make the kick.
Need some counseling, man. Because that was definitely bad.
The kick. That was bad. That's all we asking you to do.
Yeah.
But that pick I got wrong. He got right. So he went 4 for 4 last weekend, and I went 3 for 4. And if you want to go back to the week before that, we didn't pick all the games. We picked the Eagles game, and he picked a bonus game. He picked the Dallas game, and he got the Dallas game right too. He said the Packers was going to take him out first round. So technically, he's 6 for 6 as far as picks go. This playoff run. So if he was betting his wallet to be up there, you hear me? So what we gonna do is we gonna see, can he keep the hot streak going? And I don't think he could keep it going, y'all. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't think he can keep it going.
That's fine.
But I know for a fact what I'm about to pick gonna be right.
I think you're right.
So if he agree with me, then he may be able to keep it going. But we're gonna go ahead and make our picks. We got 2 games coming up this weekend. First, we got the Chiefs and the Ravens. That's a 3:00 game on Sunday. And I'll go first since I ain't the one who perfect. I'll let the one who perfect go last. So Chiefs versus Ravens, man. We're going with the Baltimore Ravens. It's over. Ain't no more State Farm. We going with Geico.
I agree.
In fact, we going with the general, and the general is Lamar Jackson.
I agree.
Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers.
I agree.
We going to the championship. You hear me? And I'm riding with them because they close to Philly, and that's just how we going.
And they got a better defense. I think they have a better defense actually. But
a much better defense, even though Kansas City defense is.
It's not. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, Baltimore. Baltimore's my pick too. Yep.
All right, so we both rocking with Baltimore. Okay. So we together there. So this is the last one right here, and this is the last game of the weekend. This is the primetime game. This is the game everybody must want to see. We got the Red Hot Lions going into San Francisco to play those 49ers, the Bang Bang Gang. I think that's what they call them. At 6:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that one, man. I'm gonna just put it on out there. I think the Lions gonna beat the Niners, dog. I think the Lions gonna beat the Niners, dog.
What?
Yeah.
No. You missed. The funny thing is, you think I'm surprised by your pick. I'm not surprised by your pick, but I'm surprised by is that I picked the same team.
Okay, so we on the same. Okay,
I think it's gonna be it's gonna be the least sexiest Super Bowl that we've had in a while because I don't think anybody wants Baltimore or Detroit as the Super Bowl, contestants. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we already know probably more people want to see Taylor Swift at the game cheering her man than just at the game with her.
Listen, it's a whole large population rooting for them to not win, just to not have to see Taylor Swift.
So I'm wrong. Okay. All right. Well, it's the Swifties versus the Swiftie haters. I don't know, but yeah, I think.
But you're right. The Swifties might be bigger than that.
I mean, that's what I hear. I'm not a Swiftie, but I hear that they.
I don't mind seeing Taylor at the Super Bowl. Why not?
But Super Bowl. I think it's going to be. I think it is going. I think it's Detroit and Baltimore, man. And
Detroit and Baltimore. We on the same page this week, y'all. So the tie, he will keep the lead after this week. He will keep the lead, and we're gonna take this all the way out to the Super Bowl. We picking the Super Bowl too. We're not gonna get into the what is because we don't know the matchup yet. But this weekend, we think the Ravens will take out the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and we think Dan Campbell and them Lions gonna get to the Super Bowl and turn Detroit all the way up, and the Niners just gonna be salty.
As long as the NFL doesn't get involved, we should be good.
Well, they got the Super Bowl logo out there. People been saying this is purple and red. They saying them colors is fixed. The sign, whatever colors they put up is going to the bowl, and they saying that's the script. So we gonna see. What script writers be doing.
Right. As long as the NFL does not get involved, I think we're writing our picks, man. I do because I just
asking the NFL not to get involved in the NFL game is like asking God not to get involved in church.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It ain't gonna happen.
Right. And on that what?
But no, I think the Lions is playing real well. I think they run the ball extremely well. I think San Fran defense has been kind of leaking these last couple of weeks. Deebo Samuel banged up. They not playing. They don't have that groove like they had when they was hot after they beat us. They look like they took a couple punches to the chin. So we'll see.
Bro, I know I picked the Niners last week, but I was picking that, and I'm like, because I want to believe in the Packers, but I just wasn't. I didn't feel convicted enough in that to go with the Packers over the 49ers. You know what I'm saying in regards to an upset. Yeah. But I bring that up to say the Lions also have weapons. They got a lot of weapons. They're a legit team. The question is, which Jared Goff is going to show up? If Jared Goff continues to play, first of all, he's playing in warm weather. That'll help. But he's also, if he continues to play like he's been playing, they should be all right because he has weapons. He has the weapons to make San Francisco sweat. And
I agree. That's why I picked him. I picked him.
So Baltimore, Detroit, bro.
Baltimore, Detroit, both of us. We both going with Baltimore, Detroit. Let's go. We're going to see who do it. And, that's been the additions. That's the picks. You can FanDuel them, do whatever you want. I think he may get it right now because I picked just like him this week. So we're going to see. We're going to circle back. But, y'all, that's been this episode of the No Box Sports Podcast.
Yes, sir.
And y'all already know who I be. Your Reverend. Bring it to you, episode 7.
And I'm original CP3.
And we going to get at y'all next week. Peace.